Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to VenusBlood Frontier. It has been quite a while since I last recorded an episode, and hoo boy, I actually had a lot of update for you guys. I actually just came back, or not came back, I just clocked out from work. And this is my first time actually working from home. So, the past week, I was actually going to work like at the office. And so I think I told you guys briefly about how my schedule was, right? I sleep at 9, I wake up at 4, I record an episode, I eat my breakfast, I go to the gym, I finish the gym, I took a shower, I cycle, or I guess I took a shower after I went to the office, which is usually about 20 minutes since I got there. And after that, I would clock into work. And then I would go back home at about 5. And I'd get home till like 6. So the thing was, I was doing that for a good week. And my body was too tired to function. I'm not gonna lie. The past week, what I've been doing after I finish home from work was just... I didn't even take a shower. I literally just went to sleep. Like, I took my melatonin, I took my ashwagandha, and boom, I go to the bed, or on the bed, or in the bed. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. But yeah, instantly, like, go to dreamland. And I wake up at usually 2 or 3 to piss, and then I'd sleep again. And thankfully, I was actually done with Alcana because I was sleeping past my usual time to wake up and record videos. I was sleeping to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So, I think it's unfeasible for me to try to make videos early before I go to the gym. Going to the gym at 6, that's okay. But I think waking up early and recording videos first before doing that, I think it's actually not possible. The nice thing though is that so it's been a while since I last worked at my brother's company, and the office is a lot more lax when it comes to regulations and stuff. So this is my first time ever working from home ever since I worked at the company. Like, when I was working full-time here a year and a half ago, there was no working from home. I have to go, like, to the office on time. I have to finish on time. But right now, I can even go 1 hour before clock out time. As long as I'm done with my work, I can go do that. Which I didn't do last week. And people were actually wanting me to go home early because they were actually waiting for me to go home before they go home. So we were like kind of waiting each other out. So yeah, lots of update on that. So because of this new workplace environment, I guess, I feel like I'm comfortable enough to actually record a video after I'm done with work. I don't think I'm gonna be too stressed out. I don't think I'm gonna be blabbing about, you know, coworkers not working very well. I'm not gonna be blabbing about company secrets. And yeah, I think overall what I'm gonna do from here on out is actually just record an episode after work. So going to the gym is still gonna be in the morning, and then I'm gonna go to the office. I'm gonna go clock in, I'm gonna do work. I'll probably finish work by 4 p.m. instead of the usual, like, I thought I was gonna have to finish at 6, right? But right now it's Ramadan, so we actually go home at 5, but I can actually clock out at 4. Like I said, as long as my work is done. So that's gonna be very convenient for me. If I clock out at 4 and I'm not working from home, because I don't think I will be working from home every day. I think I can do it a couple of times a week, but I don't think I can do it every day because I need to supervise some people. So yeah, I'll probably be able to record by 5 p.m. tops. Right now it's 4:25 right now. So I just clocked out at 4 and I just ate some food. And here I am. So yeah, I think from here on out, I can actually make recordings about gameplay visual novels again. On my last update video, I thought that I couldn't do it, but a week has passed and a lot of things have happened, right? And I think I got the gist of what I can do after work and before work. And after my body just shut down, I just know that it's not feasible for me to do recordings before I go to the gym, since my sleep is actually not enough. I thought it was enough, but I guess it just wasn't enough. But alright, enough about that. Let's actually talk about the last episode recap. I'll make an update video about this, but yeah. Just giving you guys a fast update right now. So in the last episode, we basically finished off most of the common things that we need to do before we end the episode, or end the route. So we got Thor back, we got Regret back, we got Freya back, we got Turka back, we got all of the goddesses. All we need to do now is, let's see, make Turka get to 99, make Hel go to 80 so that we get her last event. And that's basically it. After that, it's all just about taking Ballast Yolf before we try to get the ending requirements. So this might be the last episode for people on YouTube anyway. For VenusBlood Frontier. Tomorrow, I'll most likely get all of the other endings, but this might be the last episode for us on YouTube and on Patreon. Because I don't really make those ending compilations as an extra episode. I just record the endings themselves. But let's see. I think what I need to do though for the true ending with the whole Fina Affection 12 thing is probably make a new save file or a new gameplay file and go to another playthrough for myself. But I think I can do that on Sunday, and I'll probably just add on, like I said, the true ending scene for people on YouTube on the last episode for the law route. While people on Patreon will probably just get it as a separate thing because I've already uploaded the episode, but I haven't uploaded it for people on YouTube yet. But alright, I think right now all we need to do is just basically slaughter these guys. That's literally it. We just need to slaughter these guys. And because we're on very hard, it's actually not very difficult for me to just win. The Tentacle Rider, I don't think I actually need to heal up here. Maybe get rid of you. The Ultima Cannon. Let's see, I do need to get some units up in loyalty. That's fine. The Reaper, I can swap that out for, I don't know, maybe you? This team's fine. I can swap this guy out for the Barbarian. I can just heal up the Barbarian there. Okay, we got Odin and Freya in the back line. Guess I'll put an Odin here. Heal the Barbarian. And alright, let's do this. Probably should take this area. There's two attackers. So one, I'm gonna try to not attack maybe this one and one other one. Maybe like this one. Yeah, maybe that's the plan. Or maybe I can try to not attack the dragons. The dragons are pretty annoying. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go attack this one. And everyone else just go defend. Heck, you can even just rest up. Yeah, this should be fine. But yeah, it looks like gameplay visual novels are gonna be a-okay. Okay, the Archfairy is gonna die, isn't she? Yep, she's dead. Damn those dots. The Dullahan's still doing her work, even though we're like very end game right now. I think the Delusional Odin actually died. Alright, good to go. Yeah, Delusional Odin died there. One more attacker. This is not night. It's morning, so I should probably try to attack this one with one. Archfairy. Tentacle Rider is fine. I'm gonna go try using this one. The Holy Knight. I can just heal him up. Okay, the Vampire. I was watching a tiny bit of, what was that game again? Unicorn Overlord? I don't know if you guys know about that game. But it's a fairly new game from Vanillaware and also Atlas. And it looks pretty damn good, visually. People actually compare it to this game along with Ogre Battle 64, which I'm not very familiar with. But, it seems like a pretty interesting game. Sadly, from the looks of it, the story seems a bit... What's the word I'm looking for? Seems a bit bare bones. I mean, it still looks pretty fine, but it does look pretty bare bones. So I'm gonna go attack this one. I actually don't think I need to use up too much resources here. Maybe just my main team. Rest. Rest. That should be enough. But yeah, I was watching a tiny bit of that while I was at work. You know, during my lunch break and stuff. And it seems pretty nice. People compare it because it's, even though it's a real-time strategy, it's following somewhat of a build that is like this game, which involves a lot of team building or team composition. Oh, damn! Oh, I don't think I can do this. Yeah, the Seraph might be, like, killing us. Shit. Yeah, the Seraph might be killing us here. I think this is a reload. The thing is, I think the Seraph has... Ah, yup! Okay, that was too weak. Jesus, you guys suck. God, this team sucks. Or maybe this team is just that strong. Could be that too. Jesus. This is very hard, my dudes. And we are getting stomped. But yeah, I do actually like not having to look at the video or the recording software and be too anal about the recording length. I feel like that was actually making me a bit more pressured than I need to be. It was a lot more pressuring than I thought. Like, just taking a look at the recording length. So, most likely, I'll just be recording how many hours I need to. Like, the usual is still gonna be about 2 hours. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be too anal about an hour, 30 minutes, or stuff like that. Because I am doing this before I just go to bed, right? After I finish uploading, or not uploading, recording, I'm just gonna go take a shower, eat some food for dinner, brush my teeth, go to bed, right? So this is probably gonna be the end routine before I go to bed. Which is just a much more nicer experience compared to just me starting my day with this. Okay, I think we should be able to destroy these guys, though. With the Ultima Cannon. Okay, everyone, I think you do need to defend. Okay, let's go kill that stupid Seraph. Oh, that guy is weaker than the Ultima Cannon. Oh, shit. Okay, as long as the Ultima Cannon is attacking something, we should be in a good spot. Ugh, those dots really fuck you up. Okay, that actually missed, so that's kinda good. Fuck, I hate that Ultima Cannon bullshit. Oh, sorry, not the Ultima Cannon. That stupid Seraph girl. Fuck. I think I'm still actually gonna lose here. What the hell? Jesus. I think I am still gonna lose. Holy shit. Wowza. So the Dulahan is actually not doing any work for me. I think I actually should take a look at what the hell the Seraph does. I think she has all attack. But the thing is, I guess I need to disable some of the dots that she's doing with like a healer or something. We should be able to win this. Nope. Okay, I'll probably need to... Let's see. Let me put some of the stronger units at the top. Gosh, this is actually... tougher than it's supposed to be. I thought it was gonna be boom, boom, boom because we're on very hard. I don't think I had a problem with... Oh, then again, I didn't do Chapter 8 on very hard. I finished the game with the normal ending. Okay, so probably these guys first. These guys are pretty strong. And then Farba. And then you guys. So, okay, Loophole, Lancer. This is not working. I might need Ymir, actually, for the Demon Medic. And also the buff that he gives. Let's see here. Added attack, critical boost, poison field. I need something that counterattacks. I need heals. Counterattacks dots. Flank null, poison field. I don't have any. Well, this girl has equitable heal. 16%, so maybe not too bad. I could make do with that, I think. Hopefully, as long as she doesn't die. I think we should be okay. I hope. Fingers crossed. Not playing this game for a week. A week is actually starting to feel longer than it is because I'm starting to work again. By the way. Usually it feels very fast, but now it's pretty... Oh, God! What are you doing, Regret? It feels pretty fast now. Or, sorry, long. Okay, we're healing. And we are doing dots, so that's good. Yeah, fuck these girls. Give me those dots. Fuck you, Seraph. Whew. Ymir is very strong. Oh my goodness! I guess that's what happens when I like don't have Ymir in the equation. Holy crap! You guys got destroyed. Like the second team, I mean. Okay, we should be able to beat the Grimory here. Or whatever this girl's name is. I think this is like an upgraded version of the Grimory. Jeez. Okay, no more attacks. And today's night. So these girls are gonna be severely weakened. So these, we are gonna be good to go. These are the events that we need to trigger for one of the endings. First things first, second team got totally annihilated. Let's see, I don't mind having the Nosferatu. Barbarian, sure. We're gonna make another team here. God. Can't believe these guys got annihilated. Boost got sap speed. I don't think this is a very good team, to be fair. But whatever. God, everyone is just destroyed. Should I just heal up? How much is this gonna be? Well, I think that's fine. That might have been a waste, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. Oops. I think we should be able to destroy these guys, no problem. Should have put the Nekomata in the front. God, I should have known she was the weakest link out of all of this. Did the Nosferatu just do 2,000 damage? How did that happen? Okay, damn, that heal is insane from Ymir. I think I might just as well just make this into an all-demon, like, team comp. Because that heal is stupid. Ooh, maybe I should have gone ahead and attacked this one. Oh! Guys! You guys are making me look bad here. What the hell? I mean, we're still... I think we're gonna win, but... There's gonna be a lot of money wasted. Guys, I can't believe you guys didn't even win against that one. Wow. Okay. Fine. It seems that I forgot how to play this game. I should have actually taken a look at who is the actual harder of the two stupid squats that I should be fighting. Okay, so for more, you're not gonna be here. I prefer to have a demon unit. Let's see, this one's a demon, and it has boost god. She's not considered a god, though. Let's see, who's a demon? This one's a demon, the Pompoko. I could put in hell. Yeah, this should be fine. Heal up hell. Put the Nekomata in front. Okay, this should go way smoother. At least I hope so. All attack. We have all null with regret. And also cross null, so this girl is not going to be able to do much. Or, I guess, this thing. You are also not going to be able to do much because I believe Dimension Slash is supposed to be a combination of Helmet Split and also cross attack. So he can only attack once, as long as Regret is still alive, that is. Yeah, that's fine. You can attack once. No. Ugh, hell! I need them to at least be able to handle one attack if they want to survive. Or, you know, if they want to get healed by Ymir's AoE. Wow, he has double... You saw that? I think this guy has double recovery. That's why he wasn't dying with my like auxiliary team. Yeah, this is way easier. So the only hard mob in that squad was the true Suzaku. Perfect. Okay, that seems good. So we're not gonna go attack these guys during the morning. These guys are actually tough. So what I'm gonna do is just put in some more units here, preferably the ones that are demons. Or are considered demons. Fina, why are you here? I don't even know why the hell Fina's there. I guess I was just making a mismatch of team here. I can put in Vedrung, I guess. Vedrung hasn't awoken, as you can see, since he doesn't have his top 2 skills on the top right. I can put in Fenrir. She's kind of weak, but sure, I guess. This team right here can just go rest up. Okay, this should be a fairly easy team to beat. Jeez. The Poco Poco ninja thing is getting demolished. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. As long as you can survive a couple of hits. Like, Ymir is gonna help us with the heals and shit. Okay, so far so good. It's nighttime now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and attack these two. Let's see. Do I need to exchange some of these guys? Kinda. The attacking team doesn't seem to be too ridiculously strong, so I can probably make these guys do it. And then maybe these two should be enough. Now I'm gonna go take a look at these Seraph bastards. The Spiritual Seraph. Yeah, they are severely weakened because this is nighttime. 200, 200. I'm still gonna go attack this one because this has the spiritual one. So let's go kill this one. I don't think we're gonna have too much of a difficulty here because we got Ymir to back us up, along with the fields that as long as Ymir doesn't die, of course. That is also an issue. Ymir? Okay. As long as Ymir is still alive, he's still able to provide us with a buff. So, yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough, Ymir. That's fine. Yeah, I expected you were gonna die, Mimic. Awesome. Yeah, see, these guys are actually weak sauce. One more attacking person. Odin's attacking herself. This is the first time we actually saw the true Odin here. All attack. Hardy Physique, Spell Reflect, Dimension Slash. This, This might be a difficult one. This might actually be a difficult one, yeah. I think I'm gonna have to put these girls, to try to lower... Let's see. No, she has, like, Spell Reflect. I thought I was gonna try to do some dots to lower her stuff. But still, Spell Reflect is gonna be difficult to counter. It's daytime right now. I'm in no rush to get an S rank, so maybe I could afford to just use my main team on her. Let's see, Ymir, you need to heal up. I need you, Ymir. Firefield, huh? Let's see here. Cross null, all null. So I don't need the Nosferatu. I'm instead gonna try to use another attacker here, like the Ultima Cannon. And one more person. This girl is actually considered a demon. 126. Alright, Thor. I might want to have you in the team. So 2 powerhouses here. Fenrir is just whatever. But I want to see what this girl is capable of. The Grigri is not going to be able to do anything. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to use a Dots here. Or a Dots team because this girl has Spell Reflect. And this one also has Spell Absorb. Ooh, new music just for her. Ah, crap. Are you serious? He got freaking charmed. Well, the girl's not doing so much, is she? Probably because I got the team countering her, for sure. See ya, true Odin. Okay, the ultimate weapon is a casualty, but it is what it is. I think that was a fine casualty. Warrior King, so this is gonna be, like I said, the last thing we do. But we've already seen this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip this. Nice. Let me take a look at the assets. 11 assets, 9 territory. So let's see. We can try to get this one right here, the Tostrup. And then next turn we're gonna go get this one. The West Rebay Lakeside. And then we can attack Odin during the nights. I think that's the plan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. That is exactly enough. So I'm going to attack this one, right? Is that what I said? Yes, I'm gonna go attack this one. Ultimate Cannon, get out of here. Let me heal, or let me actually level up this Tentacle Rider girl. This team is severely damaged, but I don't think I need this team, so I can let them rest up. You're attacking. I just need to get rid of the Mimic. And put in someone more formidable. Okay. Let's see. Which of the two is the stronger? Probably this one. Has more attackers. This one just has more defenders. Okay. This one it is. Okay, we are destroying you guys. During nighttime, these guys are actually a joke. They're only strong because we're attacking them during the daytime before. Oh, that was a failure? Come on. Boom. That was the power of Dots right there. The Baldur team is like the Dots teams. That's why they were actually dealing so much and taking so little. Oh, this is a true Genbu. Hardy Physique parry, so you need to get Dots. Dots the Oblivion. So I'm gonna want the Dots team to be at the top. Fire Field, boost Spell Barrier, Lightning Field. Okay, Dark Field, Poison Field, Spell Reflect, Light Field. Yeah, this is very good. Spell Barrier 60. Spell Reflect. I think Spell Reflect is only on one person, while Spell Barrier is actually the whole team. So with both Spell Barrier here, we're actually at 100%, 0% to get chance of Dots in this team. Which is very nice. But let's see. What other team actually uses Dots? I know that I made a couple of teams specially made for Dots. I think this one. I don't have equipment on Merkava. Where is she? Why do I not have anything on you? There you go. Double lightning field. You're gonna be pretty deadly. So double dots here. And we just want someone strong enough to do the finisher. I think this one is also dots. Just in case 3 dots are not enough. Or 2 dots are not enough. Let's make it 3. This one's gonna be the finisher. So yeah, defend. You guys can all rest up, I suppose. While I attack the Fulmore. Yeah, I think they should be okay. We should be able to deal with the Genbu thing. Man, I didn't even take a look at their team in this, like, squad that I'm fighting. Probably because I think they're gonna be, like, easy. Yeah. I don't think these guys are gonna be hard. Okay. Ooh, E-Spirit Medal. Wow, you guys. Come on, guys. You guys were supposed to be doing dots. Okay, is the Genbu like super low HP now? What? That's not enough? Okay. Let me reload that. Damn, that Genbu is still doing a lot. Okay, so maybe the Dragon are also gonna be defending here. These two are, I guess, are gonna be backup if those guys aren't able to destroy it. But man, why did these girls actually take so much damage though? I guess because Minio is just weak as a defender? Yeah, I guess because Minia died, everything fell apart after that. Maybe I need a better defender there. But who? Defense only. Defense tactics. Counter amp, parry, pierce null. Maybe you. So we're gonna take a tiny bit of dots damage, but that's okay. Since this is an auxiliary battle, they're gonna do 1 turn only. So I think we should be fine. I can also try to change the Punisher here for someone that gives me more dots. Ice Field 20, that's really good. Okay. That should be fine. Okay, this is a better team, so hopefully this should go without issue. At least I hope. In theory, we should be able to win. But sometimes, you know, that theory doesn't always apply in practical... Like, practical... What's the word I'm looking for? Man, English is still hard whether or not I'm actually, like, waking up or after I'm already, like, refreshing. Okay, see, that's a tiny bit better. Way better on this one. Way better. Oh my god. Come on. Okay, that was good. Nice. Alright, that was awesome. I wouldn't say that went as planned, but that was good enough, I'd say. They still took a lot more damage than I would... than I would have liked. But it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna go and get Balash Yolf. Why is that so hard? Let's do this. I think we should be able to do this. I don't know whether or not I have dots. Ooh, I don't know if Regret's gonna be enough here. I think I'm gonna need 2 defenders. I'm just gonna go get rid of the Tentacle Girl. I think I'm gonna need you, Astarte, or Aristo. Just because I need people who has all null to be alive. And instead of you, I kinda want someone that heals me up. Who gives me some healing here? Who has Demon Medic? Preferably Demon Medic. Spell Barrier 50. That's not bad. Cross Null, Flank Null, Ice, Group Heal, Treasure Hunt. Spell Reflect. Forward Guard. Lightning Field. Boost Man. No one actually gives me Demon Medic as much as Ymir. I can probably put in Odin, I guess. But I gotta try to make her not die. Okay. This is one stack team. Just to try and beat Odin. Because this is a really nasty lineup right here. Wow, they're attacking her first? That is not good. Oh my god, she's my main attacker! Oh no! Ymir, is he dead? Oh no. Well, I didn't expect them to actually attack my main attacker. Well, this is over. It's over. Okay. I need to have a forward guard actually defend the Seer. Cross Null, defense only, hardy physique. So the Seer was actually the one being attacked. That was interesting, actually. So maybe I don't need you. But I need someone that has... Where's the other Regret? This one. No. Where's the other Odin? This one. Forward Guard. I think I want this. I want something like this. I think. And I think we should be alive. I think. As I said, all of this is in theory. Yes, attack the Seer. Good? Good? Okay, fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. I'm winning this time. Fuck off. That's all I needed. I only needed Thor. Did I say the other Odin? Sorry, my bad. I meant the other Thor. There we go. I knew what the hell I'm doing, right? I played this game for like countless hours by this point, so I at least know what the hell I'm doing to some degree. I can't be just showing you guys that I can't play this game every single time. Alright, that was awesome. We still took a shit ton of damage, but that's fine. Let's see. I think I can use weak units again. I need to put in someone on these blank spaces, though. 2 enemy... Oh, no. Fuck! Why are you here? This guy's gonna destroy people. I think I need to defend this one. This one is probably pretty easy, yeah. You can usually find out whether a squad is going to be strong or not based on the unit that you take, the unit portrait. Because this one is just a typical Valkyrie. You know, you kind of know that it's not going to be too strong. But since this one is a freaking true Byaku, you kind of know that one's going to be pretty strong. Okay, Spiritual Seraph. This one is way weaker than the one that we were attacking before, so... I think on the next time on the nighttime, we're probably not going to be having too much difficulty. Yeah, you guys just defend while I try to counter this guy with someone. Probably the weakest is gonna be the Tentacle Rider. Yeah, I'm gonna try to have Bride of Thunder again. I'm gonna have to heal her up. That's gonna be the bait for the true Byakko to attack. And he's gonna get severely penalized or counterattacked by the Bride of Thunder. At least if what happened previously is what's gonna happen now. There we go. Well, he didn't take as much damage as before, but we still protected the Tentacle Rider. Okay, these guys are dead. But sadly, since the Bride of Thunder is not a demon, she didn't get the heal that we wanted. So kind of a shame. Yeah, and I said those other guys were just jobbers. Okay, no more attackers. We good? Everyone just rest up while I attack again. Okay, let's put Infantry back in. I don't think we should be... Yeah, I don't think we actually should be scared of these girls because right now it's nighttime anyway. Yeah, take a look. You saw that her attack was 1,000 something, right? During, like, morning time because she got sun worship. This is why night and day cycle is actually very important sometimes. Oh, what the hell? Did we listen to this before? Actually, I don't remember. I think we probably did during the chapter 8 for the law route. Yeah, see, the freaking Seraph actually died in one shot. What a fucking idiot. Oh my god, that hurts though. Can you try to kill her faster, please? Desir? Thank you. Sorry, you guys won't be enjoying that song just yet. Whew. Okay, so now all we gotta do is actually just put... attack 2 more territories. And then we're gonna do the events that we need to progress through the... You know... Like, ending. Let's see. I think I can just use this team right here to get one of the territories. Because we are right now needing to heal up. So let's see. Yeah, I could even probably use this one. This one is a pretty beefy team. This is a dots team. You'll see what I mean when I show you how they actually work. Well, they're supposed to be a dots team, but they're actually doing a lot of damage too. But yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. They're supposed to do that. Okay. And I think that is... Oh, damn. 3 more... Okay, okay. Just before we actually destroy these guys, we need to do a tiny bit more. That's fine by me. We should be able to get this no problem. I don't mind healing these guys. But for you guys, I probably should change some units. Sure. The Bride of Thunder is just so good. She heals so fast too, like what the hell? Why does she heal so fast? Or maybe she actually wasn't at 1 HP when I put her in the bench. Yeah, that's probably what happened. I'm actually gonna use this one to attack. Everyone else can defend here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be okay. I don't think there's any strong units right now. So, 1, 2, 3. Those are the areas that I'm gonna not take. And I'm gonna go take this one once we do all of the events we need to for one of the endings. It's okay. Oh, the Oni girl is actually getting attacked first, huh? Okay, that was a decent amount of damage. Did not expect that from the Slayer or the Reaper. She actually dealt quite a tiny bit. She gets countered though. That's the annoying part. Easy. This is also the easy team. The next one is gonna be the hard one. Yeah, this one. Okay, not too bad. Nice. Alright. So we got 3 areas left, which is perfect. Now we can actually go do what we're supposed to do, which is, like I said, try to do one of the endings here. So what we need to do for one of the endings right now is to do all of these events. 1, 2, 3, 4. And after that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, let me try to take a look here real quick. So do these events 1 turn after, 1 turn after, 1 turn after, 1 turn after. So I think I actually need 4 turns in total, because I think after I do one of these events, they're gonna be gone. I believe that's what's gonna happen. And I think all of these are gonna be H scenes, so for people on YouTube, you guys might not even see all of this. We'll see. But I've made... Give me a second. I made a save right there. Just in case I mess this up, I'm gonna put this on my very first save file. No, second save file. Thank God, as I had the, like, smarts to actually not rewrote that save. Okay, we got this. Loki stayed up late that night at his desk, undergoing an analysis. He had a plan to recruit dark creatures such as large Eros bugs and Demon Realm's chimeras for use in the war, one that he had actually devised a good while ago. He couldn't put it into effect because he couldn't acquire them in great enough numbers to serve as an effective force. Even now, with the Dark Lord's power, Loki could only summon so many. Their reproductive abilities were immense, but they also died off quickly, and breeding them required large amounts of energy. The creatures' attributes would certainly make them appealing in the war with Odin, but the difficulty of using and maintaining them kept the plan on hold. However, the situation had recently changed. When all hope seemed lost, he found a thesis on supplying and controlling dark creatures. Discovered in an old book, it proposed using a woman with high potential as the mother, and turning her into a monster plant. Loki researched further and picked out one of his pawns most apt to be the mother. After assessing assorted data, Loki concluded that the most effective monster plant would be Turka. That stands to reason. Of the goddesses, she's the first I trained. And in addition to her aptitude as a goddess, she had Nibelung. Given her Divine Gear's summoning ability, Turka always had an affinity for bringing life to or summoning something. There was nothing more to doubt. Loki concluded his many-faceted investigation and couldn't help but bitterly smile. Loki himself saw transforming her into a monster plant as nothing to be concerned about. The mother would be forced to link with the demon realm, so Turka would be unlikely to remain as she was. She would be physically altered, of course, and over time, she would presumably lose her sanity as well. Turka would undoubtedly change, even more so than now as a servant deity. It would derail her far from her role as a goddess. But if I turned her into a monster plant, any work requiring intelligence will be outside her capabilities. I'll use her how I choose, but I'd have to give up a capable commander. Loki had so changed that his primary concern was now that. A monster plant was certainly appealing. Loki's intellectual curiosity was tremendously tickled. To that end, was it worth turning a talented commander into a mindless berserker? The foolish goddess had already betrayed Loki to side with Odin once. Honestly speaking, he didn't care what befell her. But Loki's personal feelings and Turka's leadership skills were entirely separate matters. When she returned to normal, he took his time making her submit. Whether he turned her into a monster plant or not, Turka would willingly risk her life to fight for Loki. However, inside Loki, the desire to see Turka become a hideous and wretched monster factory also dwelled. No matter how he tried to lie to himself, it was the undeniable truth. Such was the cause of his dilemma. Would he take her current plethora of skills, or take her as a mother pumping out monsters? To that question, Loki said, "So you guys probably already know where this is going. So in one of the endings, we're gonna turn everyone into freaking monsters." Yes we are. There was never a reason to hesitate. You're my property. I can do with you what I wish. Loki said aloud to reaffirm his feelings. With that settled, he took action before his mind changed. Loki frantically got the documents on the desk together and stood up. Nothing. I just had a little idea. It won't take long. Summoned by Loki, Turka looked like a scared rodent. As if the trauma of Loki draining her divine energy had come back to her, her whole body trembled in a truly comical way. Turka didn't know. She had no way to know she was about to be turned into a soldier-creating machine. Now, Turka, I'll make you into the most magnificent mother. Heh. This will be your last fight as a conscious being. Cry, scream, entertain me, Turka. This is gonna be where I plug the Patreon. Tentacles ensnared Turka's body. She groaned and struggled in the tentacles as Loki slowly approached. That was Dark Lord Loki's bliss. The mad experiment was about to begin. Yeah, I think so. Turka's modification took abnormally long. Loki used the time between his official duties and sometimes even slacked off on his public work to focus on altering her body. Turka's disappearance raised questions from many, but he continued to obsessively keep her to himself. Their time alone together was the most fruitful they'd ever had. And as a result, what became of Turka? Her new appearance told the full story. So is this gonna be a CG or what? Loki looked upon his finished work of art with admiration. Patreon.com/Azaikyousuke. Yeah, I'm not gonna voice act this even though it's been a while, but this is gonna be back to back like 8 scenes for all of these girls, so we're just gonna go auto and see what's gonna happen to all of these girls. Okay, I think we're good. God, these 8 scenes are getting weirder and weirder, dude. There was like no input from Loki whatsoever, so it was just like Turka having the time of her life, enjoying herself, like giving birth to bugs. In no time at all, Loki's army recruited tons of monsters and arrows bugs. Okay, I guess that's it. Turka transformed into a mad deity. I am actually already spoiled on the transformations, by the way, because when I played the game on Nidhogg, they actually had these units on the map while we were fighting the goddesses in each chapter. So I've already gotten spoiled at how they look like right now. Attack Tactics 28, Troop Carrier. Added attack, cross attack, poison field. Ooh, this is... Wow! Yo, she actually gets really ridiculously strong. Boost Demon, Demon Medic? She's even stronger than freaking Ymir right now. And she's an attacker. Well, she doesn't do as much fields as Ymir. And she doesn't have absolute cure, but damn. That is amazing. She's an insane unit right now. Where is she? I'm gonna put her in my main team. Holy moly. See ya, Fenrir. This girl is much better now. And I probably don't need you. So let me see. I guess I can put in Fenrir there. Alright. So now I skip a turn and I should see a scene with Turka. Wait, no? Nothing? No? Nothing? Okay. I thought we were gonna go get a scene, but I guess we need to do all of the scenes and then we get a scene. I think that's how it works. But okay, I guess we'll do Freya now. Descent to Corruption. When Loki returned to his room, Freya gave him a big hug. She clung to his hips, her cheeks flushed and her eyes moist as she looked up at him. Freya, I asked you to train the troops. What in the world are you doing here? Jeez, stop being so horny, woman. Her mouth open and drooling as she pleaded. Freya looked just like a beggar. She hardly resembled a goddess. It was so wretched. Freya groveled and licked his boots. Why is she suddenly like this? What the fuck is wrong with you? Huh. How the mighty have fallen. Goddesses are a fragile existence. Freya's madness put her on the verge of a mental breakdown. Loki saw this and... Wow, this was super fast. Unlike Turka, Loki didn't even have any sort of like monologue about trying to make her into like a mad deity. So yeah, I guess we just do it. If her personality had broken to this extent, there was no returning to normal. Convinced that was the truth, Loki did what was natural and looked down on Freya. Very well. From today forward, you're a cow. I'll treat you properly. I said I treat you like a cow. No speaking human language, cow. That is so awkward. Freya got on all fours and let out a pathetic moo. Loki stepped on her head and made her lick the floor. Moo, cow. That's so bad. Aggressively stomped by Loki, Freya could do nothing but grovel. A boy frantically ran through a back alley. Work ran later than usual, so he tried to get home sooner by taking a detour down an unfamiliar street, only to instantly feel something was there. His instincts sensed danger. He began to walk faster and faster until he broke out into a run. But while he didn't know that street, the city had been the boy's playground for his whole life. It was as safe to him as a road at noon. In addition, he could run as fast as a man twice his size. If his pursuer was any average ruffian, he could confidently close his eyes and still outrun them. And yet tension lingered in his back like mold. The moon was high in the sky that night. No matter how far he ran, it was like the moonlight kept glaring from behind. He ran, turned corners, and jumped fences, but couldn't escape the malicious pursuer. The boy resolved himself to ask someone for help. But he should have thought to do that before he started running. The reason being... The malice finally came in range of the boy. I actually really thought she was gonna become a cow, but you guys on YouTube are not gonna see this, but she's turned into some sort of Lamia looking monster thing. But yeah, patreon.com Azaikyousuke. See you guys. Alright, guess that's the end of that. I have no idea why they turn her into some sort of Lamia, but from looking at that 8 scene, I do feel like this game is trying to put as many kinks as much as possible. But I feel like in some of the CGs, they're not very bold in trying to show what they're supposed to show, right? So I did not I probably will show it to you guys on YouTube, but at the end there, the Freya actually ate the guy that was running around, the child that was running around him. But yeah, the CG itself is actually still very mild in terms of just how brutal it was supposed to depict it, right? Then again, I play some stuff that's pretty fucked up, let's say like maggot baits, that clearly shows you what the hell is going on, sometimes a bit more than they need to. And also I played, the oldies like Starless, Euphoria. I play all those weird ass shit. Discipline. So, sorry, I had to cough there. There was something in my throat. So when I took a look at these scenes and I'm like, huh, this is a pretty nice scene, but the CG doesn't change throughout all the scenes, so I feel like there was just something a bit underwhelming there. Not disappointing, it's just like, I guess because I'm already exposed to something so much more, it just feels like there's something missing, you know? But okay. Let's take a look at Freya before we jump straight to Thor and also Regret. So, where is Freya? Charm attack, all attack, multi-ailment, demon medic, sap squad, and poison field. Ooh, she's getting really good. She wasn't as good before. Oh, you actually can see some tits there. Should be okay though, this isn't really about sexual content, right? But yeah, I guess you can see the tits in Freya now. Whoops. No, it doesn't look like they changed the stuff that you need to equip on them. So that's good. Okay, on to the next one. But that makes Freya actually really nice. Servant deity alteration. Out in the plains, Thor was overseeing... Oh, sorry. I haven't actually clicked, so the auto was still, going by itself there. Out in the plains, Thor was overseeing her soldiers' practice. Ever since she was assaulted by Loki, her training became sterner, and those troops that couldn't keep up were mercilessly left behind. Thus, the army as a whole improved, but the training killed more troops. The severe training almost seemed like an attempt to erase her fear of Loki, and it consequently made her soldiers fear her. I was just trying to turn her back to normal, but maybe I went a bit far. This is fine enough right now, but soon she may change beyond the point of no return. Loki watched their practice from afar. Thor awakened from Odin's brainwashing and became Loki's servant deity again some time ago. In the time since, Loki casually observed her behavior and came to the conclusion that her transformation had yet to end. Her affinity maintained a delicate balance. The slightest incident could end her life as either a guardian of humans or a servant deity of Loki, and morph her into some new monstrosity. Loki didn't care about that in itself, but if Thor were to lose the human's faith, her power would decline. If he wanted to count Thor among his forces, that was absolutely undesirable. It's about time to choose. Thor noticed Loki and ran over. The grave expression she showed to her troops was contrasted by the cordial smile Loki silently welcomed. Her obsequious... What is that word? Her obsequious grin barely hid her desperation to avoid further violence. Huh. How little you know. What I'm thinking about will determine your fate as it happens. Loki wordlessly stared at Thor, inevitably noticing the difference in his mood. Thor's expression changed. Thor, you're my servant deity. If I so wished it, I could alter your very existence. You are a little violent, but as far as the goddesses go, you're one of the less problematic ones. I could leave you as you are. However, Thor's nature as a servant deity made her sensitive to changes in her master. Loki himself didn't notice the hesitation in his heart, but she remarkably did. Yes, Loki wasn't satisfied with Thor. Rather, another side of him that held dark desires told him to turn Thor into a mindless creature. But on the other hand, he didn't think that poorly of Thor as a servant deity either. As he watched Thor after her return to his army, Loki found himself in a slightly frustrated mood. Her pleas mildly disturbed Loki's feelings. Thor didn't know that Loki wanted to end her time as a goddess, and to transform her beyond a point of no return. As for Loki, this is an important decision. Am I willing to destroy the Thor I know to follow my desires? Or... As Thor looked directly at Loki, he gazed right into her eyes. We're supposed to follow our desires right here. Very well, if you insist. Thor looked delighted, but Loki's mad grin was even greater than hers. He held his hand up to her forehead. Dark energy poured inside. Interfering with her altered divine energy, the vortex of dark energy shaved away at her mind. When Thor collapsed, Loki held her up. Now, let's get this taken care of. As the soldiers trained in the plains, Loki turned back toward his base. For the next few days, Loki and Thor were holed up in the airship's training room. And then... The next time Thor showed up was on a battlefield where Loki clashed with enemy forces. But her appearance, and not just her appearance, but her very personality had changed. The transformation was greater than when she became Loki's servant deity. No sign of the just deity she had once been remain. Is this actually not an H scene? I'm actually pretty surprised. Considering she has a horn, she probably got modified with some sort of like Oni or something. Like an ogre. A maniacal laugh echoed across the battlefield. Thor swung Mjolnir around, so intoxicated by the splattering blood that she quivered. She enjoyed slaughtering humans and monsters alike, following her destructive impulses like a truly mad god. As one possible effect of her madness, Thor's total loss of reason seemed to unleash combat abilities that were even greater than before. Thor smeared her bare skin with blood and licked her lips. In a matter of minutes, terror dominated the battlefield. On the ground sat an enemy soldier who failed to escape. Oh, is she just gonna rape this guy? Thor noticed him and gleefully approached. Patreon.com/Azaikyousuke. See you, YouTube. Well, I was expecting something more than the game would offer. So what'd you expect? Okay, can I voice act this now? So yeah, Thor, if you take a look at her physical appearance, it seems that she's supposed to be combined with some sort of ogre or something. But from what we just saw, or I guess you guys on YouTube didn't see it, she might have actually gotten some succubus inside of her too. Because the guy who just had sex with her literally just became a husk. You know, like he was being drained of his life essence or whatever. So this is the culmination of Lightning Deity Thor's desire then. Heh. Very good, Thor. I'll provide you places where you can shine. Slaughter and drain our enemies to your heart's content. The transformed goddess needed no sympathy. Loki looked at the deity he himself destroyed, his satisfaction and excitement at their peak. Alright, geez, she looks crazy. So far, the only goddess that actually makes sense to me is actually just Turka. Everyone else is like way more on the brutal side. Turka's the only one that's like pumping children. Hardy Physique 40, all attack. Damn. Does every one of these guys get all attack or something? No, Turka only get cross attack. Hardy Physique, all attack, helmet split, lightning blast, counter amp, sap defense. Not too bad. Added attack. Ooh, I gave... Wow! The buff that I gave her actually gives her added attack, which is insanely good on this current form. So preferably, I also give you something that gives added attack like this thing. The Darkster Gracita. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably best in slot for her. Sure, why not? Do I not have a Material 9 yet? I do. The Ethereal Matter. So that unlocks these, but I can't actually make these unless I have 10. Equitable Heal 20, Absolute Cure. Spell Barrier, Boost Squad. Hardy Physique, Poison Field, All Null, Troop Carrier. That's actually really good. The stats are also really good too, 30 defense and 20 speed. I don't really take a look at morale anymore because I always play with Atheist. And that disables those skills that we saw in the first playthrough. Cross Null, Hardy Physique, Yggdrasil Shield. Rift God Shield, All Null, Dimension Slash, damn. All Attack Lethal Critical 100, damn. Helmet Split, Slay Flying. This is a bit underwhelming compared to this. Why is this way more expensive? I guess it gives you way more stats. Charm Attack, Boost Squad. I prefer the Boost Squad to be fair. Lightning Field 18, Equitable Heal 18. Ooh, this is really good. Rainbow Venom, Sap Squad. Kinda meh. Added Attack Boost Demon. Ooh, very good. Dimension Slash Lethal Critical. I'd rather have this one. Added Attack 2 and then Boost Demon. That's actually insane. Damn, that's probably really good for Freya. All Attack Slay God. Ooh, the Sag Yarn. Minus 5 speed though. Minus 10. Who the hell is Salia? Salia's Great Sword. This is way better, what the hell? Dimension Slash. What the hell, the Bird Gang kinda sucks. Way better for this one. Alright, on to the last one. And after this, we can actually end the game. We don't want to get this one because that's for another ending. It's kind of a shame that I'm gonna do something to your Regret. I do like your voice. Regret. Though I do think she's a bit way too clingy. Don't you have your own work to do? She answered with a smile and stood beside him. Before Loki could respond, Riggrel held his hand. Ever since she was released from Odin's brainwashing, Regret's overly familiar behavior advanced at a rapid pace until it began to annoy Loki. As to whether he hated her now, he certainly did not. But he only wanted her adoration when he found it convenient. His lordly ego sometimes even appalled him. Did Regret feel closer to Loki than he did to her? Or was Loki simply perturbed by her honest expressions of emotion? Each time he came in contact with Regret, Loki found himself asking these questions. No, nothing. Unable to say the problem was her, he shut his mouth. Suddenly, he thought about it again and peered at Regret's face. Regret was convinced to stop in her tracks. She blinked once and looked up at Loki. Regret, do you want to be with me all the time? Well, Regret's blushing cheeks muddled Loki's thoughts again. Why did he ask her that? What was he thinking? A thought abruptly occurred to Loki. If Regret irritated him, he could simply remake her into something that didn't. Preposterous, you could easily say. But Regret was his servant deity, and if Loki wished it, she would even be willing to transform on a fundamental level. In the end, what did Loki want from Regret? What relationship did Regret want with Loki? The conflict made Loki dizzy as he stood in place and racked his brains. Weird. Am I? The goddess was only a pawn, but they had become intimate. Although it didn't feel as odd as it once did, admittedly. With all that in mind, yep, we're supposed to make her into our puppet. Regret, be my puppet. What came out of Loki's mouth surprised nobody more than him. And at the same time, it soaked right into his mind. A puppet. Was that the Regret he wanted? One that could not defy him or cling to him. Nothing would be more convenient. The desire to make Regret this way now occurred to Loki. And now that he realized this, yes, it would. God, I really hope I don't become someone who, you know, is surrounded by these sort of people who's just enabling me. Dear God. I'll ask one more time to be sure. Do you really want this? Regret slightly nodded. Remodeling Regret into Loki's ideal form took considerable time, effort, and testing. Transforming her into a puppet was a simple enough idea, but Loki didn't want to make Regret into a brain-dead husk. To ensure she would continue to serve as his pawn, he had to turn her into an exemplary puppet. He put limits on Regret's spirit and stabilized her in that state. In addition, he had to make her loyally follow orders by setting a magic code. I thought that was saying magic mode. It was possible to do with a servant deity, but the complex suppression circuits might have been impossible for anyone but Loki to create. After a few experiments and revisions, Puppet Regret was starting to look complete. Wake up, Regret. So, we didn't change her body? Is it really just the internal? So, we made her into some sort of golem or something? The magic circles inside Regret sent orders for her to activate. A few seconds of silence were followed by Regret slowly opening her eyes. Her unemotive, lifeless eyes stared at the ceiling, then turned to Loki. How do you feel? Is she voiced by someone else? I don't know. She sounds way different for sure. Alright, the circuits are properly connected. A far cry from the old Regret, she spoke in a strictly businesslike manner. Loki sealed her emotions and kept her from asking more questions than necessary, so that was to be expected. If Loki didn't like it, he could adjust her speech, but he decided to leave her like this for a while. It made her come off as a more robotic. as more robotic, and it felt like a new and exciting change. Strangely, Regret's beauty seemed all the more emphasized this way. Here are your orders, Regret. Pleasure me. Use your body to satisfy me. Regret approached. How would she react during sex? It was the perfect chance to find out. Patreon.com/Azaikyousuke. This is probably the first one where the mad like goddess is actually doing something to Loki instead of just some random guy on the street. Well, in Turka's case, she was more like becoming like a birthing or pregnant like being that just spews out like these weird Eros bug babies. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now. But yeah, she seems to be just like a robot at this point. No emotions, but her dress does change in this picture. I don't know why the sprite didn't change there. I guess they don't have the sprites for the girls after they become mad or something. I don't know. They did have it for Thor though, so maybe not. Alright, think that's it. I am a bit conflicted on this one. To some degree, her voice acting in the H scenes are still very good, but I probably like the old Regret a lot more because she's just way more emotional with her voice acting. In this one, even though the moans are still her, it's a bit different. It's also kind of weird seeing a robot still moan, even though her expression doesn't really change or something. Can't really put my finger on this H scene right now. Regret's transformation was satisfactory for the time being. After some further modifications, she would finally be unveiled to the public. To the public? Like what? Is she some sort of invention? Okay, let's take a look at her. So she has all null by default. She loses cross null though, so I can't really say that she's actually better than what she was before. She has defense tactics, that's alright. I'd have preferred if she had maybe like forward guard. She doesn't have... she has dragon scales, which is interesting. And parry, of all things. The critical boost is like useless. Huh. I actually think that this Regret is not better than the one we got before. So kind of a shame. But yeah, that's all of the mad scenes that we're supposed to see before we get this ending right now. Supposedly, there's supposed to be like one like event for each of the goddesses after we skip one turn. But I don't see it, which is quite interesting. Let's see. Wow, these guys jobbed. Well, it is nighttime after all. So it's kind of understandable that they jobbed. So I'm just trying to take a look whether or not we get an event here. But doesn't look like we're getting... Oh, there we go. So I guess we get the events in one turn. Or... No. Not like that. We get the event after we skip one turn. On the call event. Yeah, like this. Okay. I get it now. So let's do all those and finish up, shall we? Hopefully this is not an H scene, though. Hopefully not. Yeah, see, Turka doesn't have the same appearance as she did. Though, did she have like bigger wings now? I'm guessing. Turka left the birding room and saw the sun for the first time in a while. Her appearance, if nothing else, was made to look like it used to. Okay. But on the inside, she was a far different life form. Her body itself was a route between the Eros realm and this one, and it served the role of infinitely summoning dark creatures. To maintain that function, all unneeded chaff was stripped away. Denied the divinity and dignity she once had, Turka couldn't be considered a goddess anymore. Turka, do it! Turka vacantly responded and stepped forward. She faced the enemy forces in the battlefield and, even under these circumstances, let out an obscene moan. She put her hands on her abdomen and poured divine energy inside. Merged with her womb, Nibelung invited dark creatures from the Eros realm. It had lost the power to summon spirits. Now it was a catalyst for giving birth to twisted monsters. Her stomach rapidly swelled. She impregnated herself with the creatures and pumped her own life force inside. Are we gonna get another CG? In Turka's madness, only being pregnant and giving birth made her feel alive. Yes, just give me a black screen, please. I don't want to have to censor this anymore. From between her widespread legs, a grotesque creature's head popped out. To help her give birth in large numbers, her lower body's bone structure was transformed. Just to, you know, tell you guys, I'm actually not in any way disgusted by any of the CGs in this game, like at all. I've seen worse. As chimeras spilled from her crotch, Turka brightly smiled and basked in the abnormal maternal love. Turka finished giving birth, lifted her breasts and spurted milk. She watched the insects gather around the fluids and beamed. Birthed from her stomach and fed her milk, the Eros bugs became obedient children. It was the key to controlling them. Ready, Turka? They followed Turka's orders and got moving, all heading toward the enemy forces at once. The creatures almost looked like one enormous bug, and how united they were. Excited by her children's bravery, Turka grouped herself. She leaked milk, shoved a fist up her gaping pussy, and erotically wriggled. Thank God they didn't show the CG. Their mother watched as the Eros bugs trampled the enemy camp. Now that's an amusing sight. Loki murmured, but Turka wasn't listening. A monster plant. At the same time Loki obtained the perfect pawn, he lost the goddess Turka used to be. Fully captivated by her children's work, Turka looked far from divine. Or more so, bringing to mind pathetic cattle. I think that's supposed to be more so, right? Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's an or so in any vocabulary in the English dictionary. Now do it, Turka. Have Chief God Odin's troops devoured by your own children. Turka didn't think twice before nodding. Okay, thank God. Doesn't look like these actually are 8 scenes. So I can just show you guys all of these at once. More youth have been going missing around town lately. Loki received that report from a subordinate and headed to a back alley in the city. Each step he took into the pitch-black alley gave him chills. It was like death personified. The alley was so full of malice. What's this sound? Echoing off the walls was a sound like a dog lapping up water. But that wasn't the worst of it. The occasional sound of flesh being slurped put Loki on guard. He picked up his dark gear and pointed it at the source of the sound in the shadows, where he saw. Yeah, I think they actually don't have the sprite work for these girls when they're in their, like, mad form. I guess they only have it on CG. A supple body set by a bright red corpse. Around here were chunks of flesh and a sea of blood. In the aberrant spectacle, the goddess of beauty, Freya, stood. Maniac, just what are you doing here? What kind of meal is this? On close inspection, Freya's lips were dripping blood. Man, I'm getting hungry. Shit. Ooh, I'm actually recorded for 2.5 hours right now. Most of it were 8 scenes though. Like, I think a good hour chunk of it was about 8 scenes, so this is probably gonna be turning into probably a 2-hour episode for people on YouTube. But yeah, it's so nice and refreshing to be able to record more than just an hour 30 minutes. I feel like even I was like being annoying with me being anal, you know, with the time length. A look at the puzzle-like pieces of flesh and the Red Sea gave him a dreadful idea of just what she was eating.
最近満月になるといつもこうなんです。血がうずいて喉が渇いて、そんな時に美味しそうな子供を見つけてしまうと、こうパクッと食べちゃうんですよ。
There was little ill will in Freya's voice. She probably saw this massacre as no greater a sin than eating dinner early.
それよりも聞いてください、ロキ様。今日は大発見でしたの。今までは精通もしてない男の子が一番の美味だと思っていたんですけど、実は妊婦がとっても美味しいことに気づいたんですの。母体の方はまあ気の抜けた干し肉のようなんですが、腹の中の胎児は唇で噛み切れるほどの柔らかい肉と澄んだ喉越しで、思い出しただけでよだれが出てきてしまいますわ。
You need to calm down, woman. I do like her voice acting though. Her voice acting is really nice. Freya recalled the sweet taste and howled at the moon. How beautiful and hideous she was.
けども安心してください、ロキ様。ここ最近子供を食べてると力がみなぎってくるんですもん。地球の奥に溶けかかった子供たちの魂がへばりついて、助けてって叫んで、その声が私にさらなる心力を与えるのです。
I don't think you're someone that gets powered up by divine energy anymore, Freya. Freya's recent approach to combat was not sniping as it had been before, but to single-handedly charge into the enemy camp and fire powerful arrows upon the whole enemy squad. The tactic could only be called insane. And at those times, rumor had it that Freya's appearance transformed, making her an object of fear within Loki's army.
文字通り魂の叫び、それは純粋なる信仰心。この力があれば、私は千里でも万里でも敵を打ち貫き、あだなす者を引き裂き食らってみせましょう。
Whatever you say, girl. She went completely mad. Trying to make conversation with her now was a bigger waste of time than communicating with a beast. Shh. What's done is done, I suppose. Anyway, I'll handle things here, Freya. Just never tell anyone about this. If people found out, Loki had no idea what would happen. First, he had to clean up this mess, then do something to suppress her deranged behavior.
はい。ロキ様と私の秘密ですね。
Man, I don't think I've told you guys, but during the Regret H scene, I was actually putting some power glue on my freaking chair because a part of it actually fell off. God damn it. This chair is only what? 2 years old? This stupid ass chair. Freya naughtily smiled. Her face had lost all sanity. Well, I am working now, so I could probably afford to buy a new chair. Before I was like, pretty stingy about my money. During a stalemate on the battlefield, the decision was made to send out Thor. Bound in bondage gear, Thor was brought to the front line. The reins were held by an Amazon captain. Once respected as a goddess, Thor now received rough treatment from her proteges? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but okay. The Amazons. Her freedom was restricted because otherwise she might act on instinct and run around in a man-raping rampage. Also, if she was forced to abstain, her vigor, once released, would be so great that none could stop her. and it would be directed at the enemy. Loki devised the method for transporting the transformed goddess and appointed an Amazon captain with the duty. The Amazon rudely pried her former leader from her shackles. Thor growled like a beast and evaluated the enemy army with a scrutinizing look. And then, yeah, see, this CG with the horn is only on a CG and it's not a sprite work. Thor screamed and charged forth. She leapt high in the sky and pounded Mjolnir into the middle of the enemy squad. A fierce quake and a storm of lightning mowed down the soldiers like garbage. The maniacal deity guffawed. That was actually a pretty nice laugh. Her whole body splattered the blood of her enemies. She writhed with excitement and obeyed her purely destructive impulses. Transformed into an Oni deity, she was feared by both friend and foe. The Thor who worked so hard to build an excellent army was no more. The military deity who never forgot her duties was no more. Yeah, Thor's voice acting is pretty good when voice acting something like this maniacal laugh, but during an H scene, it's actually not that good. Thor's involvement turned the battle into a mere massacre. The enemies who lost the will to fight were captured, fated to be milked to death by Thor. With her desires sated for the time being, Thor was once again tied up until her next battle. Thor was now treated as a nearly unfair weapon. Oh, that's it? Wow, that was short. That was really short for Thor. Last one before we end the route. Ever since Regret became a puppet, she always stood by Loki. Typically, she would act as inconspicuous as a shadow, only acting when Loki needed her to. She had no ego of her own. It's almost 7 PM right now, so yeah. After this, I'm gonna go eat dinner, take a shower, brush my teeth, go to bed. Should be enough time before 9 PM. But while there was much she had lost, there were also things she had gained. Her abilities on the battlefield were an unexpected bonus. Regret. It seems we were being pushed back on the right flank. Regret said lifelessly, then activated Horn. Its ability to energize allies and weaken enemies was unchanged, with a very slight change. Right, do that. The waves sent out from her divine energy charged shield took over the soldiers' minds. That was a new ability she obtained. By dominating the soldiers' emotions, they moved at Regret's will. They did not fear death, turned into machines who fought as told and nothing more. These puppets commanded by a puppet were what Loki personally called the Marionette Corps. Alright, well done. Regret unemotively nodded. In the past, she likely would have been unabashedly delighted, but now she had no such feelings. Her lack of flexibility impacted her ability to work, but she could be supported in those areas well enough. This new, quiet regret mostly satisfied Loki. Her inorganic soul might have lost the fate of the public, but her connection with Loki sustained her. By becoming a puppet, Regret finally became Loki's alone. Let's go back to the base. I'll be spending tonight with you. Huh. I'll think about it. The way Regret was now, she would do anything without batting an eye. Loki imagined it and subtly smiled. Truly the evil route that I wished for all those months ago. Let's do this. Let's destroy these guys. Don't even need to defend because this is the last territory that I need to get. So yes, I will be destroying this one since this is a much harder fight. Let's do it. Wow, what the hell? Why did Ymir only took like 40 damage? That was like nothing. Jeez, Turka. Maybe it's because I got Turka along with me too, because she's actually super strong now. I should probably put Thor into my main team. That's gonna destroy like everything instantly. Let's do this, Odin. What is this place? Loki's squad chased Odin deep under Valhalla. The spacious scenery captured their eyes. They were underground, and yet there was a veil of stars. The absurd sky full of stars above them twinkled like the real thing, but differed from reality in the speed of the stars. They traveled dozens of times faster than on the surface. Just looking at them threw off one's sense of time. The stone floor had its own star patterns drawn upon it, and in the center of it all stood a divine tree with overwhelming power. The solemn room swirled with what should have been invisible divine energy. By merely invading the room, Loki's squad felt shivers shoot through them. If it hurts, I'd avoid breathing too much. Such dense divine energy can only be poison to demons. Oh, they're probably talking about that Valashkalf place. You know, considering all the stuff that I need to do for all of the other endings, that might actually be its own thing. I don't know whether or not it's gonna be a long one, but it might actually be its own episode. Maybe like a super small episode. On YouTube, it might actually be even tacked on this episode. Because I don't know whether or not the endings will actually become 8 scenes in this one. Because we already got all of the 8 scenes right. Hel and Fenrir's squads drew their weapons and rushed to cut down the tree. The tranquil room rang with the voice of God. A moment later, it filled with a holy light. Odin. Calmly, with the elegance of a proper lady welcoming her guests, Odin materialized in the underground chamber. Her hand held Gungnir, her eyes each shine with a different colored light, and her stainless white gown fluttered. A miracle in the shape of a human descended before the monsters. I'm going to miss that smug attitude, you know. Your squads on the surface are being routed by the goddesses. That only leaves you, Odin. When Loki raised his arm, Hel and Fina led his forces to surround Odin. Faced with their overwhelming numbers, Odin crossed her arms, lifting her heavy chest as she warily stared at the siege. No tension or caution could be seen. No caged bird could strike fear into its owner. She glowered at them like pets who did something wrong.
ってやっておるというのに生意気に吠えおるわ。もしやこの程度で勝ったつもりかい？
Man, this close-up of her boobs is just too much for me. It's so big. I don't care how high and mighty you are when you're surrounded by this many men. If you want to beg for your life, I'm listening. Loki pointed his spear at her and suggested she surrender. Odin stared the spearhead inside. Then she took a light breath, focused her heterochromatic eyes, and... Like, you think God is gonna have influence on demons? Suddenly, the divine energy felt heavy, pinning everyone but Odin to the ground. Ah! Ah! She probably has something like the stage that Sir had on the auditorium. This is technically her domain. The common soldiers were one thing, but even Loki and Hel had to fall to their knees under the pressure. Odin hadn't moved a finger. She only linked her own energy to that in the room. Her fierce energy only had to be released to function as a splendid weapon. Sorry about that. I hit the mic. God damn it, Odin, why are you speak so slow? See, this is like not even that much in terms of a sentence. Ugh, I see. You're using that tree's energy to control every human in the continent. Loki used his spear to stand himself up and give Odin a sharp look. She opened her eyes just a crack wider and mildly smiled. Speak faster, damn you! How do you create a new one in so short a time? God, Odin, why can't you talk faster, damn you? Odin spread her arms and loftily declared. She looked all too divine and all too deranged. In her eyes, only she was justified. The ultimate ego, the apostle of judgment. This is what defined a true Odin. Her idea of world peace meant the death of all consciousness but her own. It would be an eternal dystopia. Think it'll be that easy? Loki drew his dark sword and slashed at the air. Wait, It's actually a sword? Huh. Barnard is a sword? No, this must be not Barnard, right? I could have sworn Barnard is supposed to be a spear. Cleaving the divine energy around him and freeing his subordinates.
それが魔王の剣を見たお主の力の本領というわけ。面白い。
Odin's face twisted with glee. That's when Loki noticed that she wasn't fighting to her ideals. She was fighting to stave off centuries of boredom. The concept was hideous. She treated death like a game, abused the weak, and justified it all. Her gorgeous appearance contrasted the blackness of her heart. Loki had never been more disgusted or enraged. The limits of your sick mind aren't worth seeing. Die on this blade, Odin! Loki struck faster than light, forcing Odin to stagger. She prided herself on her prodigious energy, but the new Dark Lord had both Surt's sword and the power to absorb that energy. Odin was too negligent and prideful. Loki took that perfect opportunity to attack. His guards helped to instantly encircle Odin. For all your bravado, it only took one blow to end this. It's over! The Dark Lord's blade drew toward Odin's flesh for the winning strike. The war on the floating continent would be brought to an end. But that was not to be.
見事じゃ。ボングの身でわらわをここまで追い詰めるとは。実に有意義な時間であったぞ。
Odin smiled with madness unthinkable from a goddess, then charged Gungnir with divine energy and spun it around. Her white dress billowed as she twirled like a ballerina. That was it. That was the only move she made. What? Loki's army was on the verge of annihilation. Talk about her being like, you know, like way of the charts on the power level.
全員大丈夫か？あっこんなバカなことが。ロキちゃん、これってどういうこと？
Wow, typo there. Men, pull yourselves together. Get up like your lives depend on it. If you sit still, you'll only be a target for Odin. The precipitous drop in stamina and energy returned Loki to his normal form. He delivered orders as his mind tried desperately to dissect that last attack. The damages extend to nearly every squad in this enormous chamber? Just what was that? A physical attack? Magic? Some new divine gear? The indecipherable attack did extraordinary damage. Loki never took his eyes off Gungnir, so it couldn't have been the spear. Then what was it? Loki thought about it from many angles at once, all reaching the same conclusion. Enough! I can't lie to myself. That was... You're only now taking this seriously, aren't you? Loki glowered at Odin, his eyes filled with malice.
獅子が全力を出すのはウサギに対してじゃ。感類せよ。お主らはようやくわらわに虫からウサギへと認識されたのじゃからな。
The idea was exceedingly simple. Odin had previously forced them all to the ground with her divine energy alone, something that could hardly be called a technique. She didn't use her full power at first, but now that she could defeat every one of the monsters on a whim. Loki was confident he could handle any skill or weapon. But when it was simply her absurd quantities of energy, no amount of effort could overcome it.
なかなか善戦したようじゃが、ここが限界だったようじゃな。命乞いの強情があるならば聞いてやるぞ。
You could have won at any time. Was this all a game? There's no end to this farce.
いや何、必死になっているお主らを見てたら少しからかいたくなっての。存在せぬ勝利を模索するお主らの姿は 実に滑稽であったぞ。
The fact that you're still overconfident, Odin, we can still abuse that, you know.
これがオーディンの本来の強さだとでも言うのか。
こんなやつにどうやって勝てって言うんだよ。
何を言っておるのじゃ、そこの安犬。わらわにかなうものなどこの世界には存在せぬ。この美しきわらわこそが世界の頂点。それ以外は全て散りあくとも同然じゃ。
Did she forget that she actually lost the cert?
じゃがロッキー、お主の戦いはチリアクタの中では見事であったぞ。褒美としてお主は今日からわらわの玩具にしてやろう。手足を切断し、わらわの腰掛けとして一生使い倒してやるぞよ。
God, you talk so slow, Odin.
特別にわらわの気が向いたら暇つぶしにお主の粗末なものを感動してやってもよいぞ。ほれ嬉しいであろう。媚びを売ってみせよ。
Ah! Ah!
私のロキちゃんのことはしげにして絶対に許さないんだから。
Odin kicked Loki as he lay on the ground, then stopped on his head and cackled.
ああ、安心しろ。他の者も殺しはせぬ。そこにいる下女とお主の姉二人、それと舞台のメスどもは新たな世界の性処理奴隷として末永く使ってやろう。
Wait, are you just gonna kill the men? You're insane!
中がじゃ、たわけが悪が滅び善が永遠に君臨する。民はわらわに管理され、いずれ大陸すべての存在の信仰がわらわへと集結するのじゃ。これこそ管理された永遠の理想郷よ。なんと素晴らしき世界じゃ。あまりの素晴らしさに貴様に刻まれた肉の喜びを思い起こすようじゃ。
Man, I really like the true Odin as like the final boss. But man, Sir talks way faster than you, Odin. You don't have to fantasize about it. I can just go ahead and... Ah! Loki's sarcasm earned his head another stomp from Odin's bare foot. She grinded his skull against the ground as she replied.
わらわの足に踏まれながらまだ吠える。どうやらお主にはかなり状況が必要のようじゃな。
Her heel hammered Loki's head into the ground repeatedly. It was miserable to watch. The merciless violence of a supreme being could not be stopped.
さて、玉座に口と手足はいらぬのでな。まずはよくしゃべる舌をわらわの繊細なる指で引き抜き、手足を花を倒るようにゆっくりもぎ取ってやろう。
Like hell. When everyone's morale was lost, and even their will to defy her was broken, one man remained steadfast. Now it's time for me to use my Deus Ex Machina protagonist powers on you, Odin. I said like hell, you tyrant. Loki forced his limbs to move as if dragging someone else's property, and rather than Sigurn, he used Unvar to break free from Odin and stumble to his feet. The hem of Odin's dress was torn by the blade. The damage to her clothes made her eyebrow twitch. This world is mine. Who said it was for a mad goddess to take? Humans will live for their desires, and monsters will have a paradise for 1,000 years. And the slave is going to be you, Odin. Loki's very soul declared. The absurd statement made Odin hold her stomach and guffaw. What, you ask? Well, you're right that I have no way to win right now. Oh, I don't mind. This bought me enough time. Loki quietly grinned just as a faint sound came from the ceiling. Odin had sharp enough senses that she no doubt would have noticed the sound soon enough to react. But Loki's braggadocious... That's a word? I suppose that's supposed to be like a bragging version of the, like, you know, adverb. Attitude had so distracted her with laughter that she lost sight of her surroundings. So this was unmistakably Odin's negligence. And by buying time, Loki won through perseverance. A fissure ran through the starry sky until it all shattered into stardust for Yorm and Minya to jump in from the other side. Odin's complete failure to predict this couldn't have set well with her. She faced Fina's falling sister and tried to unleash her blade to fight her off. However... Wait, how? Minya used the giant giant casket she was carrying to block Odin's light blast, then slammed the coffin into the ground. I guess we can use, that thing now. The Leviatine, was it? Well done, Minya. Why did I question mark that? Leviatine, your greatest prey is right here. Eat her. When Loki unleashed Leviatine, it hungered for the divine energy it just got a taste of and absorbed tons of power from Odin. That's right. This is the ultimate weapon against you. Whether dark energy, karma, or even divine energy, it consumes all power with greater hunger than Varnart. The karmic casket complemented Surt's karma accumulating great sword. The sword's victims had their grudges stored in the coffin, which then enhances Sagarn's flames. By using that attribute, Odin's divine energy could be absorbed and blocked. Loki assumed from the start that they would fight Odin underground. Mina excelled at detecting dark energy, while Yorm could dig at high speeds, so he left them on the surface. Then they burrowed straight down from the surface to transport Leviatine underground. Good job, Yorm. I'll treat you to pancakes with lots of honey later to make up for it. Also, Minya, good work. Yorm and Minya reconvened with Loki's army. The pressure from Odin's divine energy had reduced, and the other squads were beginning to prepare for battle. With all the actors assembled, it was time for the main event. Odin obliterated Leviathan and, with Gungnir in hand, directed her malice at everyone present. Much of her energy had been absorbed, but her power was still plentiful. This was far from a guaranteed victory, but they had a chance. When did I ask for salvation? Prepare yourself, Odin. This is where you die. What everlasting peace? Ridiculous. You just want to be worshipped, you hideous, narcissistic creature? The chief god? The highest deity? Huh. Don't make me laugh. You're more human than any human, you hag. Odin's anger flipped itself around. With a calm, mask-like expression, she raised Gungnir. Odin pushed her energy output to maximum, filling the room like a tidal wave. Leviathan should have absorbed all that energy, but the pressure was still great enough to push every squat to the ground. But not one of them submitted to her energy. So this is the typical everyone gets in line before the final boss gets defeated, right? Here we go, everyone. This is the final battle. And yeah, you're probably not gonna be here, Loki. I'm just gonna use the best thing we got right now. Sorry, Loki. She got all attack, and I don't think your team actually has all attack blockers. Yup. Didn't think so, friend. You have cross null, but not all attack null, sadly. Time for you to job, Odin. Jesus, Fenrir. Okay, this is a pretty tight fight right here. Okay, as long as the Seer's attack keeps hitting, we should be okay. Okay, you're done for. And it's over! Loki raised the Devil Greatsword overhead and let it absorb his dark energy to generate a vortex of black flame, then destroyed Odin's spear. Divine gear are the source of a goddess's power. They represented the gods themselves. With their weapon destroyed, a goddess could no longer produce divine energy, making them identical to an ordinary human. Loki required the power of the goddesses, so he never used this method before. But now that the war was over, Odin had no need for strength. In fact, to show the humans that the goddess is lost, neutralizing Odin's power would only help. This is the end, Odin. You're a goddess no longer. Now you're no different from the humans you belittled. Odin couldn't help but chuckle, then questioned the young ruler of all monsters. Loki thought her loss of power had flummoxed her. Flummoxed? Lots of different words I'm seeing today. But that didn't seem to be the case. Her mouth curved like a crescent moon as her cool gaze shot through Loki.
主は自分の力でスルトを打ち倒し、その剣を手にしたと思っておるようじゃが、そうではない。お主が剣を選んだのではなく、その剣がお主を選んだのじゃよ。
Who cares? This was a curse. Odin knew she had lost, but tried to disturb Loki's heart with one last argument. Yes, you're right. I've likely been captivated by the sword. My reign won't change the world. You and I are the same. Someone will rule over someone else, just like it has always been. Her words were like blades that cut into weak minds. If this were the old Loki, he might have been conflicted. However, but what of it? The new Loki wasn't to be moved by such words. I'm me. The sword's power is wielded by me. The goddesses were made into servant deities by me. And the ruler of the monsters will also be me. My desire for conquest can't be blamed on something else. That's escapism. To claim it was all the sword's doing would be the height of idiocy. I'm conquering the world of my own will. Do I care what happens after that? If anyone opposes me, I'll use my power to make them kneel. Whatever happens to this world, I will never have regrets.
貴様は自らスルトを否定したというのに、スルトと同じ道をたどるのか、愚か者め。
I mean, just because I'm following the same road that Surt is heading, doesn't mean we're gonna be doing the same thing. I'll do the job better than Surt did. And on that note, I'm going to make you into a fine servant deity, Odin. Man, I wish we actually killed Odin. Loki thrust his hand into Odin's stomach and absorbed her body's immense energy. Yeah, this is what I mean when the game is actually not really showing us like a more bold scene. Like when he said that he thrust his hands into Odin's stomach, there should have been like a gaping hole where being bloody and shit, right? But this game for some reason doesn't really want it to be that way. This is the highest deity's energy, corrupting a noble soul. It feels incredible. With her divine gear stolen, Odin could never produce divine energy again. Each time Loki sapped her power, the metal that floated with her energy fell to the ground. The metal? Her muscles deteriorated, and her dress felt heavier. She was gradually degrading into an ordinary woman. Be glad, Odin. From today forward, you're no goddess. You're my personal sex slave. Not a bad scream, but not good enough for me, Odin. God damn it, Loki! I wasn't ready for this! Well, you guys will have to make do with that laugh that I just did. Thus, the war concluded. The new Dark Lord, Loki Muspelheim, used Vedrung and Surt's power to force Odin into submission and conquer the entire floating continent. What remained was a foolish goddess devoid of divine energy, now a normal woman. The world was at Loki's mercy. All wealth, all power, everything on the continent belonged to him. And then... 21 turns. Okay, we got an S. The imprisoned chief god was brought to the sex training room. Are we actually gonna have sex with like true Odin before we get the epilogue? Soon, she would be prevented from ever holding grand ambitions again by the way of re-education. The acts committed on the other goddesses would be nothing compared to this gruesome one. Surrounded by the transformed deities, even Odin couldn't help but turn pale. Wait. Hades' highest deity. Let me check this. No, this is just the chaos ending. Goddesses. Oh, yeah, this is actually something that you get if you have the goddesses mad. Okay, interesting.
なんじゃ一体何をする気なんじゃお主ら
I have a feeling all of the endings are gonna be 8 scenes, man, at the end of the day. But patreon.com/Azaikyousuke. See you guys on YouTube. I won't be voice acting this, okay? This is a freaking 8 scene, you know. Okay, we're done with that 8 scene. That was so unneeded. But alright, Odin. Do we get anything new? Wow, there is actually still more stuff, huh? Alright. Loki ruled over all the goddesses and walked the path of a conqueror. After a long expedition to extinguish any sparks of rebellion, he returned to the castle, took care of his public duties, and set foot in his room for the first time in months. My room always calms me down. Combat is nice too, but private time is important. Only a lantern illuminated the dim room. Loki removed his overcoat, sat in his chair and inhaled the room's sweet aroma. That incense I wanted burned before I left has really soaked into the room. The smell made the depths of his mind tingle with euphoria, putting a content look on his face. So what do you think, Chief God? How did this ultra-thick aphrodisiac treat you for the last month? Jesus, it's not done!
お主もう早く戻ってきおったのか
I guess that's the theme with the 8 scenes in the Conqueror or in the Chaos route. You're just gonna be swimming in a pool of sex. Patreon.com/Azaikyousuke once again. I don't know whether or not the other endings are gonna be this heavy on the sex, but I guess we'll see. Just like the endings on the other law routes, though, I'll probably not be voice acting them once I do record them tomorrow. But yeah, see ya, YouTube. Okay, so yes, that is indeed the ending. I was waiting for there to be like something more substantial, like, you know, what happened in the law route. Now I can understand why the hell the chaos route is not the true ending. You literally just get 8 scene after 8 scene and then that's it. What, you don't get anything about the, like, epilogue for what happened after you beat up Odin? What happens to the country? Jeez. The song is still so damn good. I'm probably not gonna skip this one and just gonna, like, mute myself or something. It's just so for me to listen to this, so yeah. Enjoy the music, guys. I'll give my final thoughts once we actually get to the beginning again.
Coming out of the land of dream, we tremble, yearning, continue pain. I stand so strong and relentlessly striving ahead with a craving instead. But feeling glorious led to pain. Got to represent horizon, the day that you finally for the peace of awareness will crumble away. I know we're getting in the sun, just no longer inside the flame. Darkness inside us will unleash history, counting it down to be our resolution. Sunlight is waiting to be this trajectory, leaving the voices hiding behind. In the end, all is gone and it's empty. Sorry, there's no time to nothing can begin. The story is reaching out to you. When the stars fell to shining, the moon is this mark attracted astray. When they can leave us apart and protect our building the walls of a paradise lost. All through the seasons, so close to take away. Emotion, the warning, repeating notion, burning, the journey, the ashes, the destiny. Sorry, the clouds that are laughing, the can begin. This story is waiting just for you.
Alright, that is the end of the Chaos route. But is there gonna be something for an epilogue here? Damn, nothing. But yeah, overall, I do think seeing that, seeing the credits actually is pretty heartwarming when you see that the fact that there's so many people that really like this game that backed it up. Because this is actually a good H game, yeah. Even though, like, the H scenes could be a bit excessive at times, but then again, it is an H game. The gameplay is probably one of the highest selling points the game has to offer. The story is good, but the thing is, the pacing between the story and the gameplay is a bit awkward at times, right? But I guess they really want you to actually delve into the gameplay a lot. But I do enjoy it quite a lot, though. But yeah, no epilogue or anything, sadly, damn. That is a shame. Do I want to do Nidhogg? Oh my god, this is gonna be something. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do Nidhogg. I just want to try to... yeah. I just want to try to get the true ending for people on YouTube and also for people on Patreon. But I will most likely be playing this again at some point, like the sequel, I mean. Once I do finish it up. I'm just making a new save here so that I will be playing this one once we get to where we need to be for the next one. But do give me a sec. Looking at the guide, there seems to be one more scene we need to take a look after completing the Law and Normal and Chaos routes. But it seems to be on the Extra mode, so do give me a second till I find where it is I need to be at. Okay, and here I am. So it seems there's supposed to be this scene that unlocks if we have all of the endings unlocked. We get this scene, which I don't know what the hell this is. So let's see what this is. Goddesses behind the scenes.
あら、こんなところにまで来てしまったのですか。まったく、あなたにも困ったものですね。
Is this like fourth wall breaking? Is she talking to me?
それだけやり込んでいただけたということなのですから、私たちからすれば妙利に尽きることではあるのでしょう。
I guess so.
レイナ、お客様なの？ ご自分の意思で来られたのか。いずれにしろお客様にはここのことを説明する必要がありますね。それが私たちの役目ですから。はい、姉さん。お客様、よろしいですか。これより先はフロンティア世界の裏側、言うなればカオスフロンティアとでも呼ぶべき光景が広がっています。
What are you guys talking about?
それをご覧になることは、ともすればフロンティアの印象を著しく損なう結果となるかもしれません。
Huh?
ですが、お客様には選択の自由があります。この先を進むも戻るも、あなたの好きになさって構いません。ただ、一度進むと決めたからには、当方では作品上の印象崩壊など一切の苦情には応じかねます。
Are they trying to use reverse psychology on me or something? Now it does make me not want to see this.
それでもよろしければ、どうぞお進みください。女神と魔族の織りなした女子師のささやかなる舞台裏を。
Oh, is this supposed to be like the thing that you see when the developers were making the game or something? If so, then I actually don't think I should do this until I finish their game or something. Or, you know, the other games.
いかがなさいますか、お客様。
I think I'm actually gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
さようでございますか。いえ、お客様が決めたことならば、私たちに口を挟む道理はございません。お客様、お帰りになるのです。気が向かれたら、またお越しください。その時は、私たちが誠意を持ってご案内差し上げます。お待ちしています、お客様。
Seeing her wink at me is so weird. But yeah, I think I'm actually not gonna see that after what they just told me. With that though, I do think this is where I'm gonna call it an episode. I've actually been recording for a good 4 hours. A good hour and a half of that is most likely gonna be H scenes, so for people on YouTube, that's gonna be edited out. But yeah, it's so refreshing being able to record this long of an episode once again. I don't think the other episodes are gonna be as lengthy. Of course, like I said, it's gonna be mostly 2-hour episodes, but this is it for now. And this might be the last episode for VenusBlood Frontier. So with that, this is another game off the checklist, or off the, you know, what's the word for it? Bucket list? And it's actually a very enjoyable game. I'm gonna be making a new update video for you guys on YouTube and on Patreon. So I'm gonna be talking about how the episode lengths are gonna be become again. Talk about my work schedule, talk about my day's schedule actually, so that you guys will understand why I will be recording after work again. And also, people on YouTube, if you guys are not on Patreon yet, this week will be when I'll be putting Patreon votes again. So if you guys want to have, you know, a game that you want me to vote or want me to let's play, do feel free to become a patron so that you can get it on a smaller pool compared to people on YouTube. You know, compared to the YouTube playthroughs, I mean. Which I will be rolling tomorrow or in 2 days. So with that though, this is it for me. What do I usually say at the end? Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sup if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access with everything uncensored. And yeah, I think I already said what I want to say. Next week, I'll probably be making new episode previews for people that are free members on Patreon, so don't miss that out, because there's going to be 2 more for both YouTube playthroughs and Patreon playthroughs. See you guys.